What does being a citizen of the United States truly mean? When I think of an American, there are 5 main traits that I think of. The first trait that I think of is bravery. Without knowing much at all about the land they were coming into, British explorers looking for freedom came to North America, fought off any trouble, and settled this nation we live in today. The second trait I think of is adaptability. Throughout the history of the United States, people in the North have been more focused on factories and manufacturing goods because of the poor soil, while people in the South had fertile soil and used this to create a great farming industry. The third trait that comes to mind is fearlessness. Going into a war that seemed hopeless for the Americans, they fought hard and fearless against the favored British soldiers who had much more experience. Because of their bravery and fearlessness, they were able to win the war and give us the freedom that we have today. The fourth trait I think of is selflessness. Americans put everyone else before themselves and fought for those people in order to give them the freedom that they needed. The last trait that I think of is cooperation. Together, people like Thomas Edison, Theodore Roosevelt, and George Washington have worked together to shape our nation into what it is today. What Bible characters identify with your character traits? In the Bible, Moses showed bravery by leading the Israelites out of Egypt while being pursued by the Egyptian rulers. In the Bible, Joseph adapted to all of the positions he was put at, and God used him to save his family and Egypt. David facing the giant Goliath was a feat of fearlessness shown in the Bible. Jesus was selfless when he sacrificed himself on the cross so that we could live in eternity with him. Paul cooperated with many others while preaching the gospel all around him. What trait do I exemplify most? If I were to say which trait I exemplify most, I would say adaptability. In the circumstances I am put in, I will work through it and get my task or tasks done. When I am put in any situation, I will learn to adapt to it. Sometimes this can be very hard, but if you put your mind to it, it is very possible. There is never any harm in trying to do it. What trait do I feel like I could work on to develop into a better citizen? I feel like I could work on fearlessness. I'm very often afraid when I go somewhere new. When something seems hard before I even look at it, I'm afraid of what might be ahead and do not try. I should look at everything before I decide I'm not even going to try. What do I think is the most important trait you should cultivate in your own life? I think we should all look to improve on selflessness. If you are selfless, you will put everyone before yourself in any situation. This is a very good trait to have in life because we are all often so focused on ourselves, we do not look to help those around us. If we help those around us, we could all make a big difference in the world.